You know that feeling when you really want to get something, understand it properly, but you just don't have hours to sift through everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're looking for that aha moment, right, where it just clicks, but without drowning in details.
Totally.
Well, that's kind of the idea today. We're doing a deep dive into something specific and I think really appealing, the Warm Almond Color Palette for Cozy Living.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's based on a great piece from BrandCanvasStudio. And our mission basically is to figure out the key colors and, how you can actually use them to make a living space feel stylish, but also really, really inviting.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how a palette like this is put together. It's not just random nice colors.
Right.
There's a deliberate thought process. The article really points out it's about creating warmth, comfort, a kind of subtle elegance, maybe.
Without being too much.
Exactly. Avoiding that sensory overload you might get with, say, brighter colors.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and almonds, I guess.
Yeah.
BrandCanvasStudio lays out 6 key colors. We've got light almond, warm beige, soft tan, then almond shell, golden almond, and roasted almond.
Just the names sound warm, don't they?
They really do. It sets a mood already.
And that's the point. Each one, even if they seem a bit similar at first glance, adds its own little layer. It's kind of like baking.
How so?
Well, every ingredient matters for the final result. The taste, the texture. Same idea here.
Okay, let's break it down. First up, light almond. The article calls it the lightest one. Soft, creamy warmth. Good for walls or big furniture pieces.
Yeah, exactly. That's your starting point, your foundation.
So like a main background color.
Precisely. It's a neutral, but a warm neutral, not stark or cold. And that's interesting because, people often default to bright white.
Right.
But something like light almond can actually make a space feel bigger and more welcoming simultaneously. The warmth just softens everything.
Makes the edges less harsh.
Yeah, allows the other colors or furniture to pop without being, jarring. It's a calming base.
Okay, got it. Next is warm beige. They mention subtle golden undertones here. Adds richness, depth, and they suggest it for stuff you touch, like upholstery, curtains, rugs.
Yes, and those golden undertones are really key, like a tiny hint of yellow in the beige.
Okay.
Which our eyes tend to link with natural light, so it feels comforting.
Right.
So using it on those tactile things, sofas, rugs, really amps up that feeling of warmth. Makes it inviting. And it gives a nice gentle contrast to the light almond.
So it doesn't all blend together too much.
Exactly. Adds a bit of subtle interest.
Okay, moving on. Soft tan. Described as a neutral, bringing comfort and elegance.
Versatile.
Yeah, they say accent walls, throw pillows, maybe an accent chair. Things that add personality but don't, take over.
It really is versatile. And it's important for building that visual interest softly. Think of soft tan as kind of a bridge.
Between the lighter and darker shades?
Exactly. Its neutrality means it gets along with everyone else in the palette. Creates depth through, gentle shifts, not big jarring contrasts, which is what you want for cozy.
Makes sense. Now, almond shell, this sounds a bit heavier maybe. Golden brown, adds depth, balance.
Yeah, but more substance.
Recommended for cabinets, shelves, wall features, things that kind of anchor the room. They even say it adds a slightly rustic feel.
And that earthiness is important, I think.
Yeah.
Midtones like this often give us that sense of stability, connection to nature.
Grounding.
Right. Makes us feel comfortable. So using almond shell on something structural, like cabinets, it definitely helps anchor the lighter stuff visually. Gives it solidity.
Okay. Then there's golden almond. This sounds, sunnier.
Huh.
Gives the space a sun-kissed glow, apparently. Textiles, accent walls, artwork, and it pairs well with soft tan and light almond for a layered look.
What's neat about golden almond is how it injects that brighter light, but still within that warm, neutral family.
So it stops it feeling too dull.
Pretty much. Stops it being too muted or heavy. And using it for textiles or art means you get that glow without committing a whole wall, necessarily. More flexible.
Right, good point. Okay, finally, roasted almond, the boldest one.
Yep, the deepest shade.
Adds richness, sophistication, but use it sparingly. That seems key.
Crucial.
Like furniture legs, lamp bases, picture frames, small things.
That strategic contrast is vital. Roasted almond is like the visual punctuation mark.
Okay.
It gives definition. Without a darker tone like this, the whole thing could feel a bit washed out.
Flat.
Yeah, or lacking depth. But use carefully. In small bits, it draws your eye, adds richness, but doesn't kill the cozy vibe.
Okay, so we understand the ingredients now, but how do you actually bake the cake? I mean, use these 6 shades in a living room.
Right, the practical bit.
The article gives a kind of step-by-step. Start with light almond on the walls, the foundation.
Very sound advice. Largest surface area, establish that calm, versatile backdrop.
Yeah.
Everything else plays off that.
Then bring in warm beige and soft tan. Big soft things, sofas, rugs, curtains.
Exactly. Layering in that core comfort. Those midtones are where you start to feel really enveloped,
Visually and physically.
Yeah. Think about a warm beige sofa, a soft hand rug underfoot. Big contributors to that warm, inviting feel.
Okay, next up, almond shell and golden almond. For more like statement pieces.
A little bit more prominent, yeah.
Cabinets, maybe some interesting textiles, artwork that catches the eye. Injecting character.
Precisely. This is where you bring in those richer, more luminous tones to add depth, personality. A golden almond throw on the sofa, maybe?
Or the warmth from almond shell shelves.
Exactly. It elevates the design.
And then finally, roasted almond sneaks in for those small but important accents.
Right at the end.
It's like the final detail that just pulls it all together.
It really is. Those little hits of darker color give essential contrast. Stop it being too samey.
Adds sophistication, grounds the lighter stuff.
Perfectly put.
Now, obviously, color is huge, but it's not everything, right? What about furniture, decor?
Good point. The palette needs friends.
The article mentions pairing it with organic materials. Makes sense. Light to medium woods, wicker, rattan, linen. Enhances that natural, earthy feel.
Absolutely. Those materials have their own warmth, their own texture. They just work with these almond tones.
Enhances the calm, connects to nature.
Which most people find really soothing.
And for a little bit of polish, they suggest metallic accents. Gold, brass, copper.
Ooh, yeah.
Just a touch of shine, lifts it without being too formal or blingy.
That's smart. The warmth of those metals, like brass or gold, echoes the warmth in the colors themselves.
Ah, so it's harmonious.
Yeah, adds subtle luxury, visual interest, but doesn't fight the cozy vibe.
And you can't talk cozy without talking fabric, surely.
Definitely not.
Wool, cotton, buccal, those lovely tactile materials. I can just picture a plush rug in warm beige or soft tan.
Yes.
With maybe some golden almond cushions, wooden coffee tables. Sounds incredibly inviting.
Texture is so important for cozy. These fabrics feel good, obviously, but they also add visual depth, softness. Perfect pairing for this palette.
So putting it all together, this warm almond color palette really sounds like a pretty timeless choice if you want that cozy and elegant balance.
I think so too. Very versatile.
It's how those soft neutrals and the richer accents play together. Lots of possibilities for a room that feels, harmonious and welcoming.
Exactly. And it's adaptable too, whether you're starting from scratch or just updating bits and pieces.
Right.
These warm, earthy tones give you a really solid, dependable base for creating a space that just feels like home. Comfortable, stylish.
So here's maybe a final thought for you listening. Even if you're not planning a massive overhaul right now, think about just introducing one thing from this palette, maybe a soft tan throw or a little vase and roasted almond.
Just a small change.
Yeah. See how it might subtly shift the feeling of your space? It's kind of a gentle nudge to notice how color affects us every day, isn't it?
It really is.
And maybe, just maybe, experiment with bringing a little more of this particular kind of cozy warmth into your own life.